people with dual incomes or have been working throughout the marriage, they're not going to have the same problems as one spouse staying at home.
No, they will not have the same problems. Those are different. But I mean, I'll take my own instance. I always had a career, worked, contributed to my 401k, and he was self-employed. And so the tables got turned in that I ended up writing him the check, 6-figure check. And so I knew what our retirement was going to look like. And it wasn't just cutting it in half, because I had this pot of money sitting in our retirement account that was making money. And all of a sudden, it's not growing the way it was forecasted to.
Mm.
It was half as much. So I had to redo all of my numbers. I mean, I'm thankful for the divorce. The day I felt so free. But all that to say is the numbers change. And you should never stay in a marriage because of the numbers. But they do change, and it's compounding value of money. All of a sudden you got half the value. It's not going to grow as much as you had anticipated, which means you either delay your retirement, which many people do, or you phase into it, which is becoming very popular. It's not like, 65, I'm retired, I'm going to go play golf. It's, I am now transitioning. I'm going to work, maybe 20 hours a week instead of 40 hours a week. And I am going to travel a little bit more. And that's actually what I'm doing. I'm working less, I enjoy it, but I'm also pursuing some of those other activities that I greatly enjoy. But all that to say, this is not the retirement I envisioned. And I think that happens with a lot of couples where they're both working. It's, especially in their 50s. 50s is where I see women really focus on, okay, I'm going to get laser focused. This is when I have time to, increase my income. It's probably the highest income they'll ever have. They can really focus on it. The kids are out of the house, and they can really put their retirement plan in place and kind of, okay, 66, 67, 70 is my target. What is it going to take? What's my number? That's what I get asked all the time. What's my number? It's different for everybody. But anyway, all that to say, so yeah, so it is different depending on, single income or dual income. Absolutely.
Yeah, you're talking about the traditional retirement that you'll retire and go play golf. I don't know if you think people are still doing that these days. It would seem odd to me to just one day quit and do absolutely nothing. I don't know, maybe in 10 or 15 years that won't seem so odd, but I don't know. I guess I could find plenty of, on the weekends, there's plenty of things to do if I'm not working to fill my day.
Mm-hmm. Well, I see some of that. I wouldn't say it's as prevalent as it was. I see more people transitioning. That's what I see.
I like that word.
Yeah,
I'm gonna write that down.
I think it's smart. It's like, and I was coaching one woman. She cracked me up. She goes, I know, and she was coaching just because she wanted to get her retirement on fast track, and she was happily married. She goes, I married him. I said I do for as long as we live. She goes, I just didn't know it was going to be breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She goes 24/7. She goes, I'm transitioning. I'm going to transition into my retirement because I can't imagine working 40 hours, out of the house, and then all of a sudden being there full time. And I think that's smart. It's not that, you don't wake up and it's like, well, I can't stand being at home full time, but it's like, let's transition, and I think it gives people, men and women, an opportunity to explore different things, whether it's volunteering, whether it's, working at a winery just came to mind because that's one of the things I love doing, whether it's traveling, whether it's spending more time with the grandkids, whatever you kind of get to start deciding what does a life you desire look like, and you get to make it up your way. And I actually go through a series of, I call it my dreaming exercises with my clients who are working on what they want their retirement to be, and we walk through some, who do you want to be with, what does that look like, where do you want to be, what do you want to do?
Yeah, you brought up your coaching program. I wanted to see if we could dive into some of your programs. And if you could kind of detail the types of clients you work with, and are they coming in